NATO chief says Donald Trump comments undermine all of our security. You know, some of this black is white, up is down nonsense that we get constantly barraged with these days is at least a little bit more subtle than a punch in the face. But that headline has got to be the best. The bloke ran the country for 4 years. He was the leader of the free world, and during that entire time, it was probably the most peaceful era in geopolitics since the 1990s, I would say. He calmed Kim Jong down. He had a decent relationship with the Chinese. It wasn't kicking off with the Russians. There was no war in Ukraine. The border was secure, which is inexplicably linked to security because you're in trouble if there's millions of unvetted men crossing your borders, and we're now up to 10. That's 10 million if you haven't been paying attention. And they want to tell us with a straight face, after 4 peaceful years, and then 3 of total chaos, under the human sausage currently inhabiting the White House, that the real threat to global security is Donald Trump. And I'm going to read you the story, but I haven't got to the best bit yet. Obviously, Guy Verhofstadt opened his mouth, didn't he? Or as I like to call him, Elton John with Downs. And with a straight face, he says the next US president would encourage Putin to attack Europe. What the hell more do EU leaders need to finally set up a European army? I love the idea of that. Can you imagine? We all know the Germans have got all the power in the EU. Look who leads it. Ursula von Scheisserporn. And, imagine after the history of Europe, nations like Poland, the Czech Republic, Belgium and the Netherlands sending their men and women in this day and age to die in the meat grinder on the orders of Germans who, I'm just putting this out there, would probably spend the entirety of the war folding blankets in Tenerife. If you want to sign up for that, boys and girls, you crack on. I'll just be here doing the same thing the German officers are going to be doing. Drinking margaritas on a balcony whilst splitting my sides laughing. Grand idea, Guy. Right then, let's read the story. This is amazing. I love that. 4 years of relative peace and prosperity under the Orange Oracle. Now it's kicking off everywhere from Orlando to Odessa. Apparently, the real threat to peace is the guy who made sure we had it. Yeah, that makes loads of sense, doesn't it? NATO chief says Donald Trump comments undermine all of our security. What, even all the people who refused to get drawn into a war when he was president? All of those people? Yeah, all of them. And all the ones who didn't get conscripted to fight the Russians when he was president? Yeah, all of them. Donald Trump's suggestion that the US would not protect NATO allies failing to spend enough undermines all of our security, the Western Military Alliance chief said. Jens Stoltenberg also suggested it would put US and European troops at greater risk. Yeah, makes loads of sense, doesn't it? Because you know what really puts US troops at risk? It's leaving them training on a beach in California. It's mega risky. I've been to Coronado Island where they train the Navy SEALs. Yeah, I had a pint with a load of them. Dangerous in there. I had like 15 pints and I almost got ran over by a taxi. So, dodgy. Definitely worse than when I was sprinting across open ground in Afghanistan while being rinsed by an angry desert midget with an AK-47. Yeah, definitely more dangerous than Coronado Island. So obviously that's a logical thing to say. Staying in America and doing training exercises in Nevada, of course it's more dangerous than going to war against a hostile enemy. That's called logic, people disagreeing with BBC journalists. Suck on it. The Republican said he told allies he would encourage Russia to attack NATO members that failed to meet the alliance's target of 2% on their GDP. Sounds like he's playing hardball there, doesn't it?
NATO was busted until I came along. I said, everybody's going to... They said, well, if we don't pay, are you still going to protect us? I said, absolutely not. They couldn't believe the answer. They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
That was just a bit of comical rhetoric, wasn't it? That's the full quote. And he's doing what he always did. He's being unpredictable to get people to do what they need to do. He's like the personal trainer that shouts at you aggressively when he catches you eating some pizza. He's a better personal trainer than the wishy-washy one who says, well, if you want to eat mayonnaise straight out the jar with a dessert spoon, you do you, girlfriend. That's why he was so good at negotiating. That's why when they were saying he was going to start World War III with the North Koreans and there was no path forward, and he said, go on then, fatty, press the button. Let's see what happens. The difference between me and you is my button's bigger and mine actually works, and 6 months later, they were like best pals. So you can listen to the nonsense that they throw around all you like, but we've now got actual documented history and facts to back up our arguments. His tactics with nations like North Korea and China worked and we weren't at war, and their tactics don't work and we are at war. So make up your own mind. What do you think seems to have a better track record? Listening to the Orange Oracle? Or listening to some fat, geggy, gap-toothed inhabitant of a nation that only perfected the art of making chocolate so they could lure the children over? That's what Guy Verhofstadt gets up to. They invented spreadable chocolate so they could layer it on their own bowels before they went to pick the kids up from school. I mean, who do you want to listen to? The facts are right there for you to see. Google how many bombs did we drop in 2019 and then compare it to a few other famous dates. Like here's when the peacemaker Barack Obama was in charge. US forces dropped over 3,000 more bombs in 2016 than 2015, taking the grand total to 26,171. This map by statistics shows you where they were. There we go. Peace in Syria, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Peace and love and happiness by bombing the ever-loving shite out of everyone. Winner. And if you look at the actual statistics from theprogressive.org, at the height of the Obama administration between 2015 and 2017, the US dropped more bombs in a single year than Trump managed in his entire presidency. So ask yourself a simple question. Who do you trust when it comes to war and peace? Ursula, Guy, and Joe Biden, who have managed to lead us into a situation where at the start of 2024, half of the world is on fire and the other half is getting sent to Ukraine. Or the Orange Oracle, who dropped fewer bombs in the entirety of his presidency than Barry and Big Mike would do in a 6-month period. Answers on a postcard, ladies and gentlemen. However, what do I know? I just read facts and data and numbers, boring things like that. Actual data. None of that really matters, does it? You know what really matters? What you think and what you feel if you're left wing. All right, thanks for watching. I am off to watch the Super Bowl on this glorious sunny day in a nation where, despite all of its flaws, you still don't get arrested for being rude on Twitter. Thanks for watching. See you all very soon. Toodle pip.